Hi, welcome. In this video, I want to once again talk about training as a intervention, which is what it is, okay, based on connecting the dots properly, based on relationship, and based on, your role in that, okay, just like being a parent. And so, again, when you look at, talk about the intervention, this is why, again, I talk about the board and training process, okay. Again, I do offer that option to dog owners, but I'm very, very careful, okay, with doing that. That's why I recommend a home visit session first. And this is why I don't go longer than 2 weeks initially. 2 weeks. That's the stopping or intersecting point for it to transfer over to the dog owner. And when you really start to think about what I'm saying in terms of your role in that, just like being a parent, how it is that if it goes longer than, say, 2 weeks, guess what? Okay, you're changing the whole focus. Okay, you're approaching things totally different. You're focusing on appearances a certain way. And I talk about that. I talk about this issue about appearances, why that gets us into a lot of trouble. Okay, and how it is the majority of trainers, they're doing, almost all of them are doing this. If you go and do your research, you'll see that balanced and force free. They're all doing this. They're jumping in and motivating dogs to respond at the very beginning, without influence being an active agent the way that I described. Okay, they're all doing it. And so the problem with that is, therefore, okay, they're all focusing in on responses a certain way. Okay, the sit down, come and stay, and trying to pass that off as some sort of a standard, which it isn't, and it shouldn't be. Okay, that's not how I'm focused. Okay, I'm focused totally different. This is interaction based. But again, this is why, again, when you think about, how this idea that trains and learning-based exercise, how that shifts the entire focus of what you're doing and what these trainers are doing. And then, again, very, very common for, say, a board training process, say after you do it, say, for 4 weeks, well, chances are, of course, it's going to wash out, okay? Because number one is they're engaging in this type of a superficial idea, which takes the level of bribery for these dogs. And then because then what you're doing is you're adopting, okay, you're taking what these trainers are saying at face value as the way to go, and so you're engaging at the same level. Influence isn't going to be active the way it needs to be, and you're right back to where you're starting, or you're in worse shape. Okay, this is why, again, I halted at 2 weeks, because there has to be an intersect point. Okay, it's like you're the parent, right? So done right, it can be very helpful, but that goes right at the very beginning anyway, where what I advocate is a totally different process. Okay, so whether it's home visit training or all the options I offer, well, it's a totally different methodology anyway. But understand that, again, when you think about what I'm saying, okay, think about what this idea does. Okay, it changes the whole focus, and then it shifts the blame onto the dog. Beyond that, what doesn't work out, guess what? These trainers are not going to self-audit. Okay, it's a culture you're dealing with here. Understand, all these trainers are doing it, so it's a type of, it's become normalized to blame dogs. Because if all these trainers are doing it, and therefore blame shifting is part of the norm, well, it just seems to make sense, right? Well, got to be something wrong with the dogs. It's the genetics. I mean, on it goes. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, I mean, without human interference, dogs are left, to their own kind of devices, right? Everything typically works out fine. Nature has the final say. Here, the humans got the final say, and it's not good. Okay, the final say isn't good at all. That's why the dog training world's a mess. So again, all to say that I encourage people to check out my website. I have a 10-part series called Learning Theory Breakdown. I break down this idea, but also talk about the solution by way of a interaction-based approach. Thanks for watching.